any open source organization speak out against it. Another great example. It's very different, but another interesting example along the same lines is Jeremy Beecha. Jeremy Beecha is a registered sex offender who was convicted of sexually assaulting small children. According to reports at the time, there were thousands of instances of such sexual abuse of small children. And he speaks at conferences. He's heavily involved in both Debian and the GNOME project. He is one of the release managers for GNOME. He's a leader of that project. He's a public spokesperson. He drafts release notes for many of the GNOME releases. At no point has Debian or GNOME or any other organization that has worked with this gentleman warned people about the threat that he faces to them or to children that he might be around. At no point have any of these organizations spoken out against the people spreading online child porn or being registered child sex offenders. At no point have any of these organizations, Red Hat, Debian, GNOME, any of them, spoken out against this stuff. Not ever. Not that I've ever seen. And it goes on and on and on. There's the Bazite Linux distribution. They make their whole mascot is a trans lesbian transgendered bisexual lesbian whatever cartoon, specifically to appeal to children with little trans flags and lesbian bi colors and all sorts of things to attract children to it. The OpenSUSE Linux distribution said that anyone who didn't actively fly the trans flag was rotten flesh that needed to be cut out. This resulted in the project being almost dead at this point. They regularly run elections and there's no one left because they kicked out everyone who's normal. Microsoft, who hosts GitHub, the biggest open source source code repository on planet Earth, the hoster of GitHub has a specific policy of encouraging parents, employees that are parents, to have gender-affirming care for children as young as 3 years old. Let's sink in for a second. Sex changes for toddlers. Microsoft pays for it. The non-optional health program covers it. They have internal support groups at Microsoft to encourage parents to help their children, their 3-year-olds, get sex change operations. They're not only sexualizing children, they're abusing them to the utmost degree. None of these companies, none of these organizations have spoken out against this. And you go through Mastodon and forums and whatnot, and you see a nonstop flood of open source developers and testers and leaders in many cases using as their online avatar, again, sexualized images of naked, half naked, and otherwise kind of sexualized drawings of little kids. No one says anything. No tech reporters will cover it. No open source organizations will distance themselves from it or say, no, you can't do that. Nothing.